So what is a business model? And effectively, a business model is really just how an organization is creating and delivering and ultimately getting value. Right? How do they capture the value? And the value can be, of course, is usually monetary, but now in the context of a lot of the ESG requirements and encouragement from different funds, there's a component to that, and so that value creation side is really what it gets down to. What value are you creating, and then how are you capturing that value? When you're running a business, you need to think about what is your business model, and then therefore associated with that business model, what are the metrics that an investor is going to look at, that your management team is going to look at, and that ultimately are going to drive growth for your company. An enterprise business model, that's the first one. An enterprise company effectively is selling something to another business. That can be in the form of a software or an actual service. And they're usually something that has like a fixed contract associated with them. That'd be like a subscription, whatever kind of like farm to table food box that you're going to get from your CSA. That would be like a monthly subscription. Basically the same metrics are quite important, which is your monthly recurring revenue. If it's a monthly service, then your growth rate on a month over month basis, how much you're losing, how many customers you're losing, and then how much does it cost for you to acquire those customers. And each of those are really the equations that, again, you can use to summarize how fast is this company going to grow, and how much is each customer going to provide in terms of value to the company from a net profit basis. And then you have marketplaces. So marketplaces is a classic one, relatively easy to understand. You're selling a good, and usually they're two-sided though, right? You have the buyers, and then you have the sellers, and then you're kind of facilitating that on your marketplace. But effectively, like Airbnb is a classic marketplace. Amazon, of course, is a classic marketplace. It doesn't say that you're not going to be making revenue necessarily, right? It's just that you're driven largely and reliant on usually external capital in the form of accessing donor funds or grants, and coming from governments, or coming from private institutions or other nonprofits. So the business metrics that are going to be associated with that really vary, because saying nonprofit is just like such a general thing. It depends what your service you're providing. But if truly like you're not even charging anything for someone to use the service that you're providing, then effectively you're going to try to figure out like how much does it cost for you to find your donors, how much can you get out of each donor, how long does it take for you to get a grant. Like you're constantly going to be looking at those components associated with the money that you're trying to gather, and then your output metrics are going to be extraordinarily important. So like what value are you providing to your community or whoever is the end beneficiary, and really be crystal clear about the measurements associated with that. Because if you don't have the output metrics that are showing you impacting your community that you're trying to impact, or the initiative that you're trying to impact, you're not going to be able to get donors anymore. You don't have to choose one, of these business models. You can have multiple, but each of those business models will be evaluated kind of as individuals, and then creating the sum, but should make intuitive sense related to the customer experience that you're trying to build and the value you're trying to build for your customer. Not all of these business models are equal in terms of the value that they're creating for shareholders. And part of that's driven by those metrics, the math associated with how much value you're creating and how much value you're capturing. Closing advice, just keep it simple, especially in the beginning. Take some inspiration from someone else, take inspiration from other companies and industries, but also realize how, what are the success metrics associated with the model that you choose, test, and also understand how, if you're taking venture money, the requirements to return value or create value in order to be appealing to that potential investor, so that you can speak the same language.